Hello sports fans, it is Tuesday, October the 8th, the year 2013, and as usual, a lot to get to in the sports world, so let's get it going right now. Let's start the Monday Night Football game from last night, where the New York Jets went into Atlanta and beat the Falcons 30-28 on a last-second field goal. The Jets go up to 3-2. The Falcons plummet to 1-4. The Falcons are a train wreck right now, especially on defense. Their defense is atrocious. A lot of injuries on defense, a lot of young guys back there, a lot of new faces. The Falcon defense can't stop anyone. The Jets moved the ball up and down the field last night. Awful loss by the Falcons. They got booed off the field many times last night. Terrible loss by Atlanta. They are in all kinds of trouble. Forget the division. The Saints are 5-0. The Falcons are already 4 games behind them. I mean, the Falcons were a whisker away from making the Super Bowl last year. Now they're 1-4. They don't look like a playoff team at all. I don't even know if they could get back to 500 with this defense. This defense is that bad. Plus, no Steven Jackson at running back. When's he going to play? So they can't run the ball and they can't stop anyone. Bad combination in the NFL. Plus, Roddy White is now hurt. So, I mean, you can't expect Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and Tony Gonzalez to win the game by themselves. I mean, the defense has to contribute a little bit. Jets deserved to win this game last night. They carried much of the play. Jets, I thought, dominated the first half. Falcons had a chance to get points at the end of the first half. It stopped on the goal line. Fans boom off the field. Jets have a 27-14 lead in the fourth. I actually thought at 26-14 after the Jets scored, they should have went for 2 there to try and make it 28-14. I'm always getting on these coaches for going for 2-point conversions too early. I thought that was a time in the game last night the Jets should have went for 2, make it 28-14. 27-14 at that stage of the game doesn't do you a lot of good. And even if you miss it, I mean 26-14, okay, you can live with it. Thought the Jets should have went for 2 there. When they went for the extra point to make it 27-14, I'm like, oh, they left the back door open for Atlanta. Atlanta's going to win 28-27. Sure enough, Atlanta rallies. They get 2 touchdowns. They get a big penalty, on one of their drives to keep the drive alive. They go up 28-27, but the Jets and Geno Smith go down the field. They run out the clock, and they kick the game-winning field goal, and the Jets win 30-28. Tremendous win by the Jets. The Jets are playing hard this year. We didn't think the Jets were going to win 3 games all year. They're 3-2. They've been in every game except the Tennessee game, gave New England fits. Geno Smith played a really nice game last night, avoided the big mistakes. Rex Ryan, who I've been on in the past, I've called him a buffoon in the past, he's got his team playing hard. Really nice job by the Jets. Now listen, they're not going to the Super Bowl, but they are playing really, really hard, and that's all you can ask for. The Falcons, awful. I don't know how the Falcons recover from this. I really don't. 1-4, 4 games behind the Saints, in all kinds of trouble. I mean, I was so disappointed in Atlanta last night. I thought for sure they'd come out and play a big game. They just don't have it on defense. If you can't stop anyone, you're not going to win very many games. So the Jets, a much, much deserved win. They were the better team last night. They get the W. All right, so that was your Monday Night Football from last night. Over to the baseball real quick. The baseball playoffs, the Oakland A's beat Detroit in Detroit yesterday, so the A's take a 2-1 lead, have a chance to eliminate the Tigers today. St. Louis went into Pittsburgh yesterday and won, so that series is 2-2. Back to St. Louis we go for Game 5. Tampa Bay at home stayed alive last night. They got a home run in the 9th inning to beat the Red Sox. Red Sox still lead 2-1. And the Dodgers eliminated the Braves in Los Angeles last night. Dodgers win the series 3-1. Braves are up 3-2 in the 8th last night. Uribe hits the big 2-run homer. Wild scene in Los Angeles. Dodgers advance. They await the winner of Pittsburgh, St. Louis. All right, back to the NFL real quick. I want to go through the standings. I know it's still pretty early in the NFL, but let's check the standings real quick. Let's start in the NFC. The NFC East, the Dallas Cowboys are 2-3. I still think the Cowboys are the best team in this division, but they always have a loss that sets them back. Tony Romo always throws a big interception that sets him back, whether it's this Denver game, they just lost, or the Kansas City game. Dallas has to find a way to win these big games to get over the hump, or else they'll just be an average team, which is what they are right now. They're 2-3. I still think they win this division. I still think they're the best team in this division, though. Philadelphia 2-3, tied for first. Hard to believe. I think Philadelphia's got all kinds of problems. I think their defense is atrocious, despite the win against the Giants, who are just a miserable team. Vic is now hurt. I think Philadelphia is soft. You look up, though, they're 2-3 and tied for first place, though. Washington 1-3, as bad as they've played, they're only a half a game out of first place. They also have an atrocious defense. I mean, that's the theme around the NFL and college football. A lot of bad defenses. Washington can't stop anyone either. I do believe in RG3, though. Washington 1-3, they're right there for the division. Giants 0-5, season over. Giants could be the second worst team in football next to Jacksonville. Hard to believe the Giants have fallen this far, this quickly. Over to the NFC North we go. Detroit is 3-2. Let's see if they get Calvin Johnson back. Need him back in the worst way. Chicago also 3-2. They've lost a couple games in a row. Let's see if they can get back to their winning ways this week. They do play the Giants. They should beat them. Green Bay 2-2. Matthews looks like he's going to miss about a month. He's got an injury to his thumb. Green Bay's got to pick it up on defense, got to get it more consistent running game, got to get more balance on offense, but you still love Rodgers in that offense. I mean, that offense and Rodgers keeps him in every game. Interesting game this week, Green Bay at Baltimore. Minnesota 1-3. They signed Freeman, who was cut by Tampa Bay. Now you're going to have Freeman and Ponder and Castle all battling for the starting job. None of them are that good, but we'll see who wins the starting job there. I told you I was never a believer in Ponder. Over to the NFC South, the Saints are flying at 5-0. They can do no wrong right now. Much improved. Got their coach back this year. Defense much improved. Carolina 1-3. Can't get out of their own way. Just lost to Arizona. Carolina, they win one, lose two. That's the story of them the last couple of years. Atlanta 1-4 in all kinds of trouble. We just went over their misery. The loss to the Jets last night. Tampa Bay 0-4. I mean, now they're going with the rookie quarterback. I mean, I don't know what to make of Tampa Bay. Will the coach last? They can't score. They do play hard on defense, but I mean, they're not going to win many games. The MC West, Seattle is 4-1 off the tough loss to the Colts. We all love Seattle. We think they're one of the better teams in the league. Interesting to see who gets that best record in the NFC, and it's a little too early to talk about that, but I'll tell you, when you look at New Orleans, Seattle, San Francisco, could come down to who's hosting those games in the playoffs. San Francisco 3-2. They are starting to get their mojo now. They just bury Houston. I think San Francisco is one of the best teams in football. I think they're going to start to get it going. They're only going to get better. They're going to get Crabtree back, a couple guys on defense back. San Francisco's a contender. Arizona 3-2, doing a nice job. Defense playing really well. I mean, do I think they're a playoff team? No, but they are 3-2, and I do like their defense. St. Louis 2-3. They're about a year away from doing anything. So that's the NFC right now. Over to the AFC we go. New England, the AFC East, I should say. New England is 4-1. Every year you look up, New England's in first place. They do have a tough schedule. New England's been playing a lot of tough teams. Play New Orleans this week. New England doesn't seem to be getting a break with the schedule. But you look up and they're still in first place, and they're going to be getting healthy soon as well. Miami 3-2. I like what Miami's doing. I like Tannehill. Now remember, Miami got off to a hot start last year. Faded down the stretch. Let's see if they can continue their good play throughout the whole year this year. Jets 3-2. I was just singing their praises. Can't really say anything bad about the Jets. I mean, they're playing hard. Geno Smith played well. Can't say anything bad about the Jets. No one thought they'd have 3 wins at this point. Buffalo 2-3. They now lose their quarterback for a while. They're going with a guy off the practice squad. Look for Buffalo to start losing some games. I do like the coach, though. As far as the AFC North, Baltimore 3-2. Baltimore's been schizophrenic this year, but you do trust Flacco. You trust the organization. They're very well run. I'm sure Baltimore will be there in the end. Cleveland doing a nice job at 3-2. They do lose Hoyer for the year. I do like the direction Cleveland is going. They have a lot of draft picks as well this year. Cleveland's starting to put some things together. Cincinnati 3-2. Another nice team. Very good defense. Like to see them pick it up on offense a little bit. Get a little better running game, get another compliment to A.J. Green. Dalton's got to pick it up a little bit, but their defense very good. Pittsburgh 0-4. They're kind of like the Giants. It's a lost year. It's going to be a miserable year for the Steelers. Over to the AFC South we go. Indianapolis 4-1 off the very nice win against Seattle. I like Indianapolis. I think they're a definite playoff contender. We all love Luck. They have a better team than last year. Tennessee 3-2, playing really hard, much improved on defense. But without Locker, how many games can you win with Fitzpatrick? Houston 2-3. They're another one of these disappointing teams, just like Atlanta. Oh, I am so down on Houston, so down on Schaub. I mean, they are not a Super Bowl contender. At this point, I don't even know if they make the playoffs. They just got buried by San Francisco after they had that bad loss against Seattle. Very down on Houston right now. They got to show me something. Jacksonville 0-5. We know they're the worst team in football. Over to the AFC West we go. Denver 5-0. They score 50 points a week. We know they're going to have a gigantic record in the regular season. Can Peyton Manning keep it up in the playoffs? He's not the same guy in the playoffs. I keep saying that. I don't want to be too hard on Manning. We know he's an all-time great. He's one of the best regular season quarterbacks ever, if not the best. He does have a Super Bowl, but let's be honest. In the playoffs, he becomes a different guy. He's not the same guy. You saw that last year against Baltimore. Kansas City 5-0. What a job by Andy Reid and Alex Smith at quarterback. The defense is playing really well. Some of the best fans in all of the NFL at Arrowhead Stadium. Oakland 2-3. Very nice win against San Diego. Pryor showing some ability. Hey, we don't expect a lot from Oakland this year. We'll see if Pryor develops into a good quarterback. He did play well last week. San Diego 2-3 off the awful loss to Oakland. Just when you think San Diego's going to start to do something, they do what the Cowboys do, and they have an atrocious loss, and they go back a step. San Diego's 2-2, playing nice football. A break here or there. It could have been 4-0, and they just lay an egg in Oakland. Turnovers all over the place. I mean, Rivers didn't play well. I know he threw for 400 yards. He had 3 interceptions. San Diego 5 turnovers. It was 24-3 in the second half. Oakland blew them out. Bad loss by San Diego. You can't trust them, and they're in a tough division here. I mean, terrible loss by San Diego. Same old San Diego. All right, so that is where you are in your standings. Real quick, let's check the schedule for this week, and of course we'll make our picks later in the week, but let's check the NFL schedule this week real quick. Let's see who's playing each other. Thursday night, Giants at Chicago. You'd expect Chicago to get through there. The Sunday game, Cincinnati at Buffalo. Buffalo starting a guy off the practice squad, Thad Lewis at quarterback. You can't like that. Detroit at Cleveland, very interesting game. Hoyer out for Cleveland. We'll see if Calvin Johnson plays for Detroit. Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, Vic out, Foles in to Tampa going with a rookie quarterback. What a mess that game's going to be. Green Bay at Baltimore, very tasty game. St. Louis at Houston. Hey, Houston, you're going to respond and win a game here. Oakland at Kansas City, very nice rivalry game. Carolina at Minnesota. We'll see who quarterbacks this week for Minnesota. Will it be Castle, Ponder? I don't think it will be Freeman yet. Pittsburgh at the Jets. Oh, my goodness. I mean, actually, the Jets are 3-2, so I can't pick on them, but Pittsburgh, awful this year. Tennessee at Seattle. I mean, I don't see Tennessee going into Seattle and winning with Fitzpatrick. Jacksonville at Denver. The spread's 28. Do I need to say more? Arizona at San Francisco. Arizona's doing a nice job, asking a lot to go into San Francisco. New Orleans at New England. Probably the game of the week. Tremendous game. Washington at Dallas on Sunday Night Football. Great rivalry. They love getting that game on Sunday Night Football, on Monday Night Football. The Dallas-Washington game has been on basically every single time these two teams play, on either Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football. No exception here. The Monday Night Football game, Indianapolis at San Diego. San Diego ruined this game by losing to Oakland last week. And you have two teams with a bye, Miami and Atlanta needs a bye to get their situation straightened out. So that's kind of where you are in your schedule for the NFL. We'll pick the games towards the end of the week. Okay, as far as tonight is a Major League Baseball day. You have Detroit against Oakland, Detroit trying to stay alive, and you have Tampa Bay against Boston, Tampa Bay trying to stay alive. So you have some good matchups there in baseball. As far as my schedule the rest of the week, no show tomorrow. I have to help my sister move into our new house, which will be an all-day project of me moving furniture and all sorts of things. So I will be moving tomorrow, helping my sister move tomorrow. So no show tomorrow. Thursday, we will do our college football picks. I will have my special guest, Joe Spano from Sirius Satellite Radio, back with me to do the picks. Hope you guys enjoyed last week's show with him. I got a lot of great feedback. If you haven't seen that show, go back to last Wednesday. A lot of good stuff there. We'll have him back on Thursday. We'll do all the college picks, all the top 25 teams, all the big games of the week. It's not a great week in college football. I don't think you have two undefeated teams in the top 25 playing each other. You got a couple decent games, though. We'll touch on that on Thursday. And Friday, wall-to-wall NFL picks. We'll go through each and every game, and we'll preview the weekend. I had another decent week in the NFL this week. I think I was 8-6. It's a decent week. I actually at one point was 8-3. Dropped my last 3 games. 8-6 is not. Is pretty good. It's 2 games over 500. Picking against the point spread. I think overall for the year I'm plus 11, so that's pretty good against the spread. I'm even better. You know, if you don't use the spread at all, but hey, you got to make it a little fair. So, and I'm doing really well in college football. I mean, I outdid Joe Spano with the picks last week. I outdid him. I had Florida State. I had Notre Dame. So I outdid him last week. Not to brag or anything. But I'm doing really well in the college football picks. But we're just having fun. No big deal. All right, so that's the schedule. Tomorrow, no show, helping my sister move. Thursday, college football picks with Spano. Friday, NFL picks and a preview of the weekend. You guys are all caught up. You guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the support. You guys stay safe. Enjoy the baseball the next couple of days. I will be back with you guys Thursday. Big college football show. Talk to you then. Take care.